My name is Rafael, you watch Rock and Roll Garage, and today I'm going to tell you 5 songs from the Moody Blues and John Lodge's career that the incredible bassist and singer told me are some of his favorites of all time. But first, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comment. Well, back in 2020, I was not doing videos yet, but I had the chance to interview John Lodge, the bassist and singer of the Moody Blues. Incredible musician. At the time he was releasing a new album, and I asked him to list which were his favorite Moody Blues songs and also his favorite songs from his solo career. And these are the ones that he told me are some of his favorites. The first one that he mentioned was "I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band." He said, "Because that is who I am." Simply, that's what he said. The second one that he mentioned, "Nights in White Satin." And he said, "When we recorded this song, I realized we were going on a journey." The third one that he mentioned was "Isn't Life Strange?" Because it is. That's what John Lodge said. The next one that he mentioned, "Legend of a Mind." He said, "This was part of an era in time called flower power." And the final one that he mentioned was a new song of his solo career at the time, which was "In These Crazy Times." He said, "My new single, because we are going through the biggest change that history will record in the last 7 decades." That's what John Lodge said. So these are his favorite songs from those 2 eras of his career, right? With the Moody Blues and as a solo act. And I mean, he's such an underrated musician. I think the Moody Blues is such an underrated band. It's just surreal, the amount of incredible stuff they recorded. I mean, they are one of those bands with 2 different eras. I mean, they started in the 60s with that incredible sound. They made those incredible immersive albums, I would say. I mean, when you hear some of their albums from the 60s and early 70s, it feels like the sound is pulling you in. I have that feeling, you know, all those brilliant stuff. And later on in the 70s and 80s, they changed their sound a little bit, and they were a commercial band. I would say their sound they had good ballads and commercial songs at the time, but in the 80s I think they became even more, they had the chance to, since their sound was a little bit more commercial, I think, like many other progressive rock groups did this at the time, like Yes, Asia, and many others, and Genesis. The Moody Blues also did a little bit of the same thing, and they still continued to do amazing albums. They were not purely commercial albums. It was their sound, but a little bit more approachable to the masses, I would say. So they had the chance to get a whole new audience that would later on go back and rediscover their discography and those old albums. And I think they're one of the most underrated bands of all time. And that's it. I already did a video about his 5 favorite songs of all time from other artists. And if you want to watch that video, you can click here or click below the video. You're going to find the link to this video. If you want to read this entire article, this entire interview I did with him 5 years ago, back in 2020, you can go to the description and visit the article, okay? Don't forget to visit rockandrollgarage.com. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. You can read about rock and roll music, especially classic rock and heavy metal. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and leave your comment. Tell me if you like the Moody Blues or not, okay? Thank you for watching, and I see you later.